Welcome to the PR Maven podcast, a podcast all about growing your network and building your brand through traditional and digital networking techniques. I'm Nancy Marshall, the PR Maven and CEO of Marshall Communications. Stay tuned for this week's episode, and thanks for listening. Welcome, PR Maven Nation, to this week's episode, one of our mini episodes, a quick and informative look at how to use hashtags. This podcast is presented by Marshall Communications, creator of the 65-step Marshall Plan process. For more information, visit marshallpr.com. And on the website under PR Maven, you will also find information about my two books, PR Works and Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand. This week, I will be sharing our blog post by Bailey Dunphy, who is our Thomas College intern from last summer, entitled How to Use Hashtags. Let's dive right in. Using hashtags can often seem a bit overwhelming and confusing. With the unlimited number of hashtags and variety of social media channels using them, you may be asking, what hashtags should I use? How many should I use? And should I even use hashtags? The bottom line is that hashtags should be used, and they do benefit social media marketing efforts when used correctly. They can help improve social media visibility, encourage user engagement, and clue you in on industry trends. Here are some strategies a brand, business, or individual social media account can utilize to improve their hashtag usage. First, create your own hashtag. Brands and businesses need to have their own personal hashtags or branded hashtags. By encouraging your followers to use your brand's hashtags, they can build a strong social media community. To add more variety into your content and differentiate your business from other industry competitors, consider creating hashtags for specific social media campaigns. At Marshall Communications, we frequently use hashtag MarshallPRMain and hashtag PRMavenNation. Feel free to use those in your own social posts as well. Next, do your research. Search around on different social media channels for what hashtags are trending in your industry. Take a look at how your target audience is interacting with other profiles, including competitors. This could help you to build a better social media strategy. It is also important to note Instagram does allow its users to search for content through keyword searches. While hashtags are still important, you do not have to worry about overloading your post with them for visibility. Any of the words within the caption will be used to bring up search results. Hashtag usage does vary depending on what social media channel you are using. For Instagram, use a mix of 3 to 5 branded and trending hashtags. This number could fluctuate depending on the specific post and situation, so do some research. For Twitter, using 1 or 2 hashtags is most effective. On Facebook, a maximum of 3 hashtags is an effective strategy for posts. This platform is very text and information heavy, making it a great place to drive your branded hashtags into the heads of your followers. The strategy for Pinterest and LinkedIn is similar to Facebook. 3 hashtags is ideal on these platforms. Due to the algorithm used by LinkedIn, using more than 3 hashtags in a post could prevent the post from reaching your maximum audience. If you want to include more hashtags, you can do so in the comments section of the post. Also, make sure that the hashtags you are using are extremely relevant to the post itself. As with many aspects of your business, it is important to measure the success of your efforts. This same idea applies to using hashtags. Keep track of how your audience is engaging with hashtags. Are followers using your hashtags on their own feed? Are you being tagged in posts with certain hashtags? Pay attention to what posts draw in a new audience and see if those results are connected to the use of a certain hashtag. Hashtags are not as daunting as they may appear, but be prepared to put in a bit of time and energy to stay on top of new trends because social media is ever changing. By following these specific guidelines, you can take some of the stress off yourself and go into hashtagging with an effective strategy. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Don't forget to get a free PR Maven Things to Do pad by leaving a review and subscribing to the PR Maven podcast on your favorite podcast player. Then visit prmaven.com/giveaway and submit your information so we can send you a to-do pad. And now here's my friend Mike Duguay to share how my two books, PR Works and Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand, have helped him.
After reading PR Works, I really started to think about how marketing actually works. And I know that sounds a little bit ridiculous, but what I realized is that each platform nowadays that we use out there in digital media and social media has its own nuance and also quirks to it. And understanding how they're used is exceedingly important. Because when you have a hammer in your hand, everything looks like a nail. And you can't approach it that way in marketing. And that's where I think Nancy's brilliance really shined in PR Works. I think Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand is really sort of the manifesto of understanding that there's many different levels to marketing. It's on your personal side of your brand, how actually you express yourself through business, but also what people hear you saying and what they see out there in the public eye as well. So I think what's really important there, that's really the blueprint of how you go about using these new social media platforms, but also to express who you are as a human being. Because people want to see you authentically and genuinely working with not only what you do, but also with the customers. And Nancy, on a personal level, I think that's who she is. She embodies that approach.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the PR Maven podcast. I invite you to share a review of the podcast on iTunes or your favorite podcast player. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode. You can also join the PR Maven Nation on Facebook. It's free to join, and it's a great community of like-minded individuals who are all looking to learn and grow from one another. If you use an Alexa device, use your Alexa app to search the Skills and Games section to find and enable the PR Maven podcast flash briefing. This will give you access to exclusive content and more PR and marketing advice. Thanks again for listening and have a great rest of your week, PR Maven Nation.